Hi, I'm GPlanky. A bit about me. I played football for Swindon Town Academy for 7 to 8 years. I now play futsal in the highest league in the country, in England. I work for Pezza Street Soccer, where I coach football and futsal, and I also manage an under-7s football team called FC Salisbury United. Thanks for all the questions you've sent in. I've had loads. I might split it into 2 videos, I'm not sure yet. I'm not pretending to be an expert on any of this. I'm just going to use my experiences and give as honest answers as I can.
Question number 1. Why do you coach?
I coach football and futsal. One, because I love football and futsal, I love the sports. I coach kids mainly because I think watching their development every week, every month, now it's been into the years I've working at Pezzas. It's great to see how kids develop, how they get more confident, get to see where they go on their football journey, football careers. Perry's given me this opportunity at Pezza Street Soccer to coach different to how I've ever been coached, how I think most people my age have ever been coached. It's all individual coaching. I think it's the best in the country. I'd probably say we've got the best coaches in the country, especially Jeff, our head coach. So I think for me, I'm in the best place to coach, and it's great to give something back to the kids.
Question number 2. What advice would you give to kids wanting to be the best they can be at futsal or football?
I think the main thing is work hard, is all I can say, is work hard. I can use a comparison. At the minute, my nephew is doing keepy-ups. He wants to get as many keepy-ups as he can. The target is 1,000 by the time he's 9. The other morning, he was out in the garden, and I think it was about -1, and he made his mum record him and kept recording him for an hour or so, just so he could get over 100. He's now beat that and got 225. That's the sort of dedication and commitment at 8 years old, and 9, 10, 11, 12, that I think you need to be the best you can be. I think at Pezzas we give kids that opportunity. We do the skills, and seeing some of the kids at 11, 12, what they can do with the ball, and even in my team in 7, 8, what they can do with the ball is incredible. Confidence is also a massive thing. I think parents have a job to keep their kids level-headed, but cutting it short really, I'd probably say the main thing is to just put 100% in everything you do. Turn up to as many sessions as you can, whether it's at your club, at Pezzas, turn up there, listen, work hard, and do extra at home, and I think you've got the best chance of being the best football player or the best futsal player you can be.
Question number 3. What are the most or have been the most challenging aspects of coaching and management so far?
So coaching, there's a couple of ones I guess. When I started working with Pezzas, I can't say I was the most skillful of players, so doing the demos for me were a little bit hard, and then for the last year or so I've just taken myself and a ball up the field, and I probably say I can do pretty much every demo now, because at one point I was thinking of giving it up due to the fact that I thought the kids needed someone who could do the demos perfectly every time, but I worked on it and now I'm pretty good at the demos. Also I'd say getting the kids involved maybe at the school sessions I do that don't really want to be there. I wanted to work with the elite kids. I'm not saying there's not elite kids at school sessions, but I wanted to work with my under-7s, I wanted to work with our academy kids, and because they want to be there, they want to learn. So I'd say that's the most challenging aspect of coaching. For management, it's early days. I've sort of had half a season with my under-7s. I haven't really had that many challenges. There's a couple of things I'd say. Because of the way I've been coached at Swindon, I want to sort of put them in. My first instinct is to help them with shape and defensively and midfield and attack to keep them in positions. But then the coaching side of me now is just let them have the ball, let them express themselves, let them do skills. Also I'd say other managers I come up against that have different beliefs in me, because I'm quite stubborn and opinionated. I always think I'm right, so sort of just avoiding confrontation, I guess.
Question number 4. How do you help kids deal with setbacks?
I think for me this is a little bit easier to answer through my prior experiences. I think you just need to be very supportive as a coach, as a parent. I think it's difficult because setbacks are going to happen all through your life, whether it's in sport or work or girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever it is. So you've just got to be as supportive as you can. But as a coach, I'm just going to give them the best opportunity to learn. I'm going to try and coach my best. And if they have any problems or issues, they can always come talk to me, or Parry or Jeff. They're all very knowledgeable, and we do the best we can to help them in their football careers.
Question number 5. What annoys you about kids football or people's attitudes towards it?
For me, I can only go on my experience and what I've witnessed over the last 6 months at management. I'd say the fact that 7, 8, 9 years old, that some managers and other teams' parents, I'm lucky that I've got a very good group of parents, they're all about winning at 7, 8 and 9, and for me that's almost laughable. I think the way they behave sometimes and the way they talk to their kids at 7, 8, 9 is just completely wrong. The way they talk, I'd never talk to my kids like that. I just want them to love football as much as I do. It's not about winning, it's just about personal development. I don't treat my kids like robots like other managers do. So I don't put them in set positions. I let them express themselves. I let the keeper dribble the ball. I let all the players dribble the ball. I don't care where they're on the pitch, they're allowed to express themselves.
Question number 6. Obviously you were at Swindon for a long period of time and got released at a young age, but how did you cope with that setback?
I think for me, I never really coped, so I even still think about it now. It's difficult because back then we didn't, I say back then, it was what, 6 years ago now? There was no aftercare, so at that age, what was I, 15, 16, that was it. They released me after not playing much for 2 years, had a bad back injury. And they said, but to be honest, there was no more contact. So that was it, it sort of broke me for a couple of years. I missed a couple of weeks off school straight after, and it was a difficult period. So I think that, having that bad experience in a way is going to help me coach kids now and help them with their setbacks. I know there's a couple of parents at Pezzers that have kids who play for academies and probably are worried about what's going to happen. I think they have to understand that it's a very small percentage of kids who do make it into the professional game. But if you work hard at anything, I think you can achieve like amazing things. So that's my honest opinion on that.
Question number 7. What has surprised you the most on your coaching journey with your young football team? Most difficult and most rewarding experience?
So in the 6 months that I've been coaching my under 7s, I think the most rewarding is that I get to coach them all on Thursdays at our Pezzers Academy, and I get to manage them all on a Sunday at Salisbury United, and get to build trust, and I get to speak to them, I get to see them grow older, I get to see them be more confident, I get to see them try new skills. I see those skills work in matches that we practiced in training a few days ago. Get to see them happy, get to see them smiling, and they're all loving football at the minute, from what I've seen, as much as I have and I do. I think the most challenging is, I wouldn't say there's been many challenges yet, to be honest, but it's just, you know, getting them to stick at training, getting them to, I imagine this will come at some point, you know, getting them to stick at training, keep working hard out of our academy and out of Sunday football, so if they can do bits by themselves, so they can constantly improve. Because I think I've got 10 excellent 7-year-olds, 6 or 7-year-olds. So I've got a great chance of having a great team for years to come, and hopefully some of them push on into academies.
Question number 8. Most important goal and best goal you've scored?
Most important, I scored a worldie down at Amesbury last season for Badminton, cut inside and hit it top right, I think, from about 30 yards out. It's probably one of my most important ones because that's a local derby. I scored another one that game, 1-4-3. Best goal, best goal I'd say would have been for Swindon. We played Portsmouth away, and being a Southampton fan, in the last minute, the corner came out to me on my weaker foot, and I hit it crossbarring in from just outside the box. So I was pretty happy with that against Pompey.
Question number 9. What's the most important or best goal you've scored in futsal?
I haven't scored many important ones. I've scored a couple of good ones. Pre-season we played Chelsea, and I took the ball from sort of R and D, played a 1-2 with Phil, and then sort of hit it just in front of the fans, top right hand corner. That was a good one. Most important one, I'd say it was more of an assist. I think we ended up losing the game, but at St George's Park to assist Jordan, I much prefer assists. So as a top pivot, I know it should be about goals, but that assist was important. Setting up my mate to score at the home of futsal was pretty incredible.
Question number 10. What position do you play in football and futsal?
So football, I play left back or left wing, and futsal, I play top pivot, which is like a striker.
Question number 11. Does there have to be an element of natural talent, or can hard work and determination get you there?
I think in certain sports, so maybe sprinters and athletes, there might be some natural talent there. For me, seeing kids at 4 or 5 years old starting pezzas, not being able to kick a ball, having no confidence at all, there's no natural talent there. So then you see their progression and their improvement and their confidence grow as we, as football pool, coach them to begin with, to then me and Jeff, to then our academies, to then Saints Development Centres, to Southampton Academy, to see them grow like that from first-hand experience with my nephew, I think shows there's no real answer to that, I think, because I think hard work and determination can get you anywhere, whether that's within a job or in sport. So I think for me, hard work and determination are the most important things.
Question number 12. What is your best thing about coaching?
Best thing about coaching? So many good things. Seeing the kids improve, seeing the kids... I feel like I've got a good relationship with the kids that I coach at academy, 7, 6-year-olds, and even some school sessions. Seeing them pleased to see you, in like them wanting to be coached by you, and then them listening when you're doing the skills. I think for me it's just seeing them improve every week, seeing them get more confident. For me, there's a buzz off that.
Question number 13. What is your proudest moment of futsal and also your lowest?
Proudest, I think, was the FA Cup last season. 450 people in Five Rivers Leisure Centre watching us play against Pro Futsal. Me scoring 2 goals in front of all my family, all the kids I coach, all the parents. Lowest, I think, was Manchester away this season. I didn't have a bad game in our half of the pitch. It was more missing 5 or 6 1v1s on a live stream that was watched by 40,000 people. I personally blame myself for the reason why we lost that game, because if I scored a couple of them, I think we'd have won that game. And we might have been in a different situation now, 3 months down the line.
Question number 14. What do you enjoy playing more, football or futsal?
I love futsal. I've been playing it for 1.5 years. There's something about playing at Five Rivers in front of hundreds of kids you coach and parents you coach that doesn't really give you a buzz when you only play Wessex Prem. It gives you more of a buzz than when you just play Wessex Prem football in front of 50. Most we've 150 last year at Andover Town. There's something about it, and when it's indoors, it sounds so much more than 200, 300. It sounds like thousands in there. But on the other hand, I've always loved football. There's nothing like 3 o'clock on a Saturday when you get out there on the grass. So for me, that's a difficult question. Jeff will kill me if I said football. So I'm gonna go 50-50. I can't pick.
Question number 15. What's harder to contain? Children's attitude towards training or their parents?
I think for me, we're lucky at Pezzas. I think the kids all want to train there. It's a difficult one. Sometimes they want to play matches because that's sometimes what parents say is the real part. They want to see their kids score 3 or 4 goals. But But for me, the training, all the hard work is at the training, the first 45 to half an hour of the session. I'm not really interested in the matches at the end. I just do that to, you know, the kids can enjoy the matches at the end. They can try out their skills. But for me, the hard work's in the first 30, 45 minutes of the session. Parents, usually the kids' attitude will come from the parents, I believe. So if the parents have said something like, you know, these skills are a bit silly, why are you doing these skills? That's going to rub off on the kids, isn't it? So that's a hard one. We just play it by ear. Every kid's different. So that's all I can say on that one.
Question number 16. How do you help kids with losing?
Well, for me, I've always said to my under sevens that I don't care what the result is. And they know that. I'm not interested in the result. Win, lose, draw. It's all about personal development. I've never once seen one of my kids get upset when we've lost. In fact, they're just as happy as when we lose as we win. You know, I've got a really interesting, funny group of 10 7-year-olds. It's all about personal development. So I personally believe that as a manager, you learn more when you lose than when you beat someone 10, 11-0. I don't get anything out of that. I'm not interested in winning 10, 11-0. That's why I've started setting challenges. So I set each kid a challenge, and if he completes that, great. But it's not, you know, it's not the do all and end all. So I believe that's the best way to do that.
Question number 17. Should you prepare your child from being released from the academy, or should you do it as and when it happens?
I know the person who asked this question has a child at an academy, so it's a great question, and one that I can hopefully answer. I think for me, the kid has to work as hard as he can, and you've got to keep reminding him how hard it is to become a professional footballer. I mean, if they don't work as hard, and if they're sat inside playing Xbox, playing PlayStation, that for me, there needs to be a reminder there that the time they're wasting, obviously they can still be kids, because you don't want them to lose out on their childhood to just push a dream that not necessarily is possible in some cases. It's probably a 1% likelihood that you will make it. So keep reminding them to work hard, do bits at home, make sure you turn up to every session, and then what happens will happen.
Last but not least, question number 18. Who's been your biggest inspiration and why?
Football, as a player, it would have been Cristiano Ronaldo and Ashley Cole, which is a weird one. I always wanted to be left back after I watched Ashley Cole. I think at one point he was the best player in the world at his own job. Ronaldo for the way hard work, determination. I don't think there was natural talent there. I think he had to work hard for it. In coaching, I don't really have a Premier League manager or a coach who manages at the top level. Well, in futsal I do. I think for me, Perry and Jeff, being able to learn off them and being able to watch them at the Saints Development Centre, at Academy, working with Jeff pretty much 4 or 5 days of the week, I think for me, they're my inspirations to coaching.